I took 2 tentative steps on the icy trail. If I slipped, I'd slide 100 feet down a steep icy gully and collide with a boulder at the bottom. My big dream was to hike the entire Pacific Crest Trail, 2,660 miles, from Mexico to Canada in 2013. By Father's Day, June 16th, I'd hiked over 1,000 miles, but I needed to make a lot more miles that day to reach South Lake Tahoe, 30 miles up the trail the following day. I was ravenously hungry. The prospect of stuffing my face at the all-you-can-eat buffet at Harrah's Casino at South Lake Tahoe pulled me forward. And then I slipped. I came to wrapped around a boulder at the bottom of the icy gully. I realized I'm alive. Then I tried to stand up. My knees buckled. My chest screamed with pain. I could barely breathe. I noticed all the skin on my forearms and elbows and knees and shins was gone, scraped clean by the ice. Blood was streaming from a big hole in my leg. I made a key life decision. I am going to survive. I made a plan. I've got to get back up to the trail ASAP. If I can do that, a hiker's going to come along at some point and can get help. I crawled out of that icy gully and gazed up that steep mountainside. Round walnut-sized stones littered the rotten volcanic rock. In order to not slip while I was going uphill, I had to press my bloody forearms and elbows and knees and shins hard into that volcanic rock. With every move I made, excruciating pain shot through my arms and chest and legs and feet. It was all I could do not to pass out. After an hour of crawling, I hauled my aching body up on the trail and collapsed. I sat there in a stupor for about 2 hours, and finally my mind cleared a little bit. And as I looked out to the east, I realized I can see a long way. There might be a cell phone tower out there. Oh. I pulled out my cell phone. It looks like it works. I punched in 911. And a woman answered the phone. Tears of joy streamed down my face when I heard her sweet voice. About an hour later, Matt and Joe from the California Highway Patrol arrived in a helicopter and somehow managed to pluck me off that steep mountainside. They flew me to a hospital in Reno, Nevada, where I spent 5 fun-filled days being treated for a partially collapsed lung, fractured ribs, cuts, scrapes, and bruises, and all that sort of stuff. I was fortunate to be alive. Now, given the aftermath of my accident, did I make the sensible decision to abandon my big dream of hiking the Pacific Crest Trail all the way from Mexico to Canada? No. In fact, I embraced it with even more fervor, as if my life depended on it. On July 1st, 2014, just about a year later, I resumed my Pacific Crest Trail hike, about 10 miles from the point where I almost got killed. On September the 8th, I reached the Canadian border and the end of the trail, 1,610 miles that summer at an average clip of 23 miles a day. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Now, that experience was something that changed my life. I'm sure you've all heard inspiring stories from ordinary people who have done great things, but I realized I never believed that those stories applied to me. Now it's different. Surviving the trip down that icy gully, the collision with the boulder, and then finding the wherewithal to crawl back up to the trail showed me that I have more inner strength than I ever dreamed existed. But that's not the big deal here, because I believe that each of you has that deep well of inner strength too. And I am certain that you can marshal that inner strength like I did and embrace your big dreams as if your life depends on it. Thank you very much.